Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production, and today I thought I'd be going over the guitar parts of the song Shardic Ascension that I put out 2 weeks ago, I guess? 1 week ago? I'm not sure. Anyway, what we have here is we have two different guitar parts. We have a clean one and a lead. And for these, I used the yet unreleased MGuitararchitect. But before we get into that, I'll let you hear this and I'll go over the other effects and things I used here. So let's listen to this part. So you can hear the basic sound. Let's go over a few things here. One, I have the notepad, and you're wondering, what is that? And this is just something, it's a part of the free bundle from Melda Production, but it just lets you write notes in here. And for this, I put used neck pickup. This is useful just for me because sometimes if you record something and then later you think, you know what, I need to edit this, I need to erase this part and do it again. If you don't remember which guitar you used or which pickup you used, sometimes you can waste time trying to figure that out. You record something like, this doesn't sound right because I used a different pickup before. So this is just a nice way that it lets you easily, take notes. Not a big thing though. Next we have MTurboamp. I'm using the M stressor and I'm just kind of reducing the transients because I want this to be more even in level in case I pick some things a little bit harder than others. So you can see what I'm doing there. And then lastly, I have M Auto Dynamic EQ. And that's just cutting off a little bit of low end. Not a big deal. Before we get into MGuitararchitect, let's look at the last part here, which is this delay throws bus. So this is a really long delay. I'll solo it out here so you can hear it. So for this, I just used M delay. I used the really basic delay for this because I have other kinds of delays on inside MGuitararchitect. And then I have it going through, just a phaser here. I use M phaser MB, although I only used one band here. I could have used the other ones. I don't know why I had that leaning to the right there. I did that, but you really don't need to do that. I could probably move it to the middle. But that's all I did for that. And also here, if you look, you see that I'm automating this. And this is because it's such a long delay, some parts, it's actually going to clash with the next chord. So when I noticed that happening and it didn't sound good, I went through and I automated this so that wouldn't happen. But now let's look inside MGuitararchitect. Let's turn some of this off just so you can hear it a little bit better. I think the other stuff is not so important. I'll turn the reverb off too. So first, of course, we have a tuner. But then after that, you can see here I have this amp, a new amp that was just recently added. It's called Bradford Chap. And I made this specifically to get that really fat fusion sound. This one can do two basic sounds, a clean sound and a lead sound. I made this kind of like a tribute to Holdsworth, and it does both those sounds well, I think. Although I think the version I use in this song is slightly different than the actual version that's submitted. The actual version that's submitted actually sounds better than this. But anyways, we have that here, the Bradford Chap. Have it going into Bradford Chap cabinet, and I have it on the clean setting here, but you can blend these. I just have it turned down a little bit. Nothing too major there. And then last, I have it going into this ER, which stands for Early Reflections. Now, I have this set a little bit wet, like 65%, and I have it set on Fusion 3. So this is going to sound like those Holdsworth delays there. And I have the modulation up. This controls the modulation amount, this controls the modulation rate, and I use some low pass and high pass filters here and turned up the width. So this will give it a wider sound. So let's hear it. Let's turn this off and just hear the amp and the cabinet dry without any delay or anything on it. Solo it. So basic clean sound. I just wanted that really bright, pristine clean there. When you add the ERs in here, like this will give it more space. You can hear that modulation really adds kind of space to it. I like that, but not on leads, but I think it's great for these types of chord sounds. That's what I did for this part, which is the clean part. But then once I get into the actual solo here, we have the lead, and I did similar things, but of course it's slightly different because it's a lead sound. I believe I have it going into the reverb, but I don't have it going into this long delay. So let me play that here. I'm not using any of the other comps and everything outside of this. I'm doing everything inside of MGuitararchitect. So I'm using the same thing. I have the tuner. I'm going into the same amp. It says it's on clean, but actually it's not. I'll have to show you this. I should say these are probably not accurate settings. And then I'm having it go into here with this setting on the cabinet. And then finally into the ERs. I'll turn that on and off so you can see what kind of depth this is adding. This ER module, I really like it, and it adds lots of depth to your sound if you want that. So if you don't want like a big washy reverb, try using the early reflections pedal here. It can really do lots of stuff. And I have this set on Fusion 3, but as you can see, there's actually a lot of different modes here, so you don't have to use that. Because I made this before this amp was finished, these settings aren't 100% accurate, number one, and number two, you see it says clean here, but it's actually on lead. But on top of that, also, I changed it so the one you're going to get is not going to sound exactly like this. The one you're going to get actually sounds better than this, in my opinion. But that's just what I think. And from there, it's going into the reverb. Now, of course, MGuitararchitect can do a lot more than this. This is a fairly basic patch. And in the future, I'm going to try to show you more things you can do with that. So this is just kind of a short preview of that. After I have all that stuff, I just have these both going into one bus, which I really didn't need to do, but I wanted to do it just so I could put this multi-analyzer on here. So I could see if there's any collisions or anything like that. It looks like there's not too much, but I think I turned, maybe, I don't know if it's the resolution of the gain down, so there wouldn't be quite so much, but it seemed pretty okay to me. So I oftentimes like to bust my guitars into one place like that. Now I put all these together and I used the comp. I think I probably showed you this before. And of course, compare, so I could check the levels of everything here. Oh, I should also say I didn't show you this, the reverb bus. Reverb bus I have here. I went inside and changed the early reflections, I believe, but I used this Randy Hall. Let me solo this so you can hear it. So you can hear it's like a nice, almost like 80s hall sound. Let me play it here. So that's what I wanted, just to give this a little bit of like vibe. It's not like a completely pristine, clean reverb. It's one that has a little bit more character, and that's what I wanted for this. So that's how I put together this song. Maybe I'll write another one like this in the future. Not 100% happy with this song, but somewhat happy. It's enough, I guess. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you want me to do more with MGuitararchitect, let me know. I'm planning to do other videos on it and lots of them in the future. Maybe show you how to make some presets and things like that. So if you like that, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave those down below. Check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Until next time, see you.